Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain Free You. Are you still trying to ignore your symptoms? So we'll get to that in a second. It's a nice warm day in the 80s. Blue sky, white clouds. It's gorgeous. Birds are screaming. Blue jays. Some others, don't know what it is. Relax the body. Little micro meditation. Give you a little dose of calm, peace. So, are you still trying to ignore your symptoms? I hear it all the time. Dan, I'm trying to ignore my symptoms. It's not working. It's not working. They get frustrated. And it's because you simply cannot ignore symptoms. They're designed to get your attention. So they're gonna get your attention, whether it be pain, a little bit, a lot of it, other symptoms, digestive, you name it. They're designed to get your attention. So trying to do something that's virtually impossible is just gonna leave you frustrated. And if you have this belief that I need to be able to ignore my symptoms for them to go away, you're gonna end up believing that I'm never going to get better because I cannot ignore my symptoms. So I think some people misinterpret, the recommendation to be unbothered and indifferent about the symptoms to mean I need to ignore them, to show myself that I'm not bothered and I'm indifferent. But there's a huge difference between trying to ignore something and being indifferent. Again, ignoring is not possible, so don't try. You'll just frustrate yourself. And nor is it required, because it's not possible. You will notice your symptoms, but as I always say, it's how you respond to them that makes all the difference. So, indifference is the ability to go, there they are, so what? Don't care. Now, depending upon where you are in your journey, and where your fear and symptom intensity level is and desperation to get out of the symptoms, good luck being indifferent. Some people are like, what do you mean not care? Are you crazy? And so I get it. So if you're in a state where indifference, you're not saying that's not possible, take it off the table. You don't have to be indifferent now. That happens organically over time. And I've also recently started using the word unbothered. Well, if the idea of not being bothered by symptoms sounds crazy, you're right. You're not there yet. Because the symptoms may just be too significant or have captured your attention and fear too strongly for you to get anywhere near unbothered. So, we don't have to ignore, because it's not possible. We don't have to be completely unbothered or completely indifferent in order to start making progress. And I did a video several weeks back called Soften the Edges. And in that video I talked about let's do things in degrees of increments, improvements. So, a while ago I used to say don't freak out about your symptoms. Nobody ever got better by freaking out. Then what did I start doing? Started talking about freaking out less, panicking less, being less doubtful. And we can chip away at the doubt, right? Because as we learn more about this and as we start to practice these concepts of reassurance and allowing symptoms to be there, allowing our thoughts, allowing our emotions to be present without getting all riled up mentally and emotionally, we start to notice that things start to shift. And what will almost always shift first is your mindset, your mental, your intellectual knowledge. That's the starting point. And that will help you respond to things differently emotionally. So the mindset definitely shifts first. And that will lead you towards being able to reassure more, be less bothered, be more indifferent, to allow things to occur naturally. So these are concepts I've been talking about for a long time. Allow the symptoms, allow the emotions to surface without judgment, without rumination on the story behind it. Allow our thoughts without judging, right? Because thoughts, we can't stop them. We don't need to fix them every time. There are some programs out there that say don't ever let a negative thought get by without stopping it and fixing it. And that can be mentally exhausting. So I always say we don't have to stop the thoughts. We don't have to fix them. But we don't have to believe them. So we can let them float by. All right? So these are concepts that are well spoken about on this channel. Been doing it for a while. And ignoring symptoms. That's today's topic. You do not need to ignore symptoms, because there was no way I would tell you to do something that is impossible. So let's do degrees of improvements and incremental changes. You will find at some point, and I do hear this from a lot of my coaching clients, that at some point as they get deeper into this, their fear drops down considerably. Whether symptoms are present or not, they're not thinking about symptoms all day. They're not thinking about getting better all day. They're not thinking about the consequences of having the symptoms and the predictions of it being around and being around forever or for a long time. So back to this topic, don't try to ignore your symptoms. You can't. But you can choose your response to them. And that's where your power lies. We can expect things to go better than they usually are. Expect things to gradually improve. And we can also expect that we're going to be able to respond better and better over time. But let yourself off the hook. You do not need to ignore symptoms. Absolutely not possible. And hopefully this was beneficial for you. It is a gorgeous day. Today is Thursday. Going out to dinner with my son tonight for his birthday a few days ago, and my birthday today on the 19th. Thank you everybody for the birthday wishes. I've been flooded by them this morning, and very much appreciate all of you and love you all. So as usual, we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.